And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with the Game Boy Geek.
Hello my friends, it's the Game Boy Geek here. Today we are going to be making some cheese. That's right, we're also going to be getting them from different animals like goats and some cows, maybe even some yaks. We're talking about a game that was on Kickstarter from Eagle Griffin Games called Cheesonomics. And yes, it comes in this cool little cheese tub, which is pretty interesting. I'll show you a little bit more of this in the overview. Let me show you how this card game's played. It's a light economic game for 2 to 5 players. Plays in about 20 minutes. Let's take a look. Check out the tub or the box for Cheesonomics here. Some people don't like odd-shaped boxes, and I don't really that much either, but this one is so cool because it's thematic and it looks like a tub of cheese. Serving size, ages 8 plus. Servings, 2 to 5 players. Minutes, 20 to 30. Fun, 100 grams. Strategy, 85 grams. Luck, 15 grams. And it's just a cool little box here, that little insert there. Some cool components in this game. You get these little knives that have the types of cheese. Each player randomly gets shuffled and given one of these, and the one that has the letter closest to A gets to go first, but the cool little knives. And also we have sort of a board here that we'll be using the knives to cover up certain things. We have the market, which is 15 different cheese wheels that are double-sided, and then we have some paper money, which I'm usually not a fan of, but this is such cute paper money that I actually like it quite a bit. So in this game, you're trying to basically time the market right to produce cheese, get cheese, produce cheese, and sell cheese when the market timing is right to make money, and whoever has the most money at the end of the game wins, and whoever specializes in certain animals is going to get some more points at the end as well. Let's talk about how the turn works. The cards in this game look like cheese. Again, thematic, looks cool. They are very hard to shuffle, but again, it's worth it because it fits the theme and they're fun. And so here, you'd get 5 cards, and these would be secretly held in your hand, and you can see there's different cheeses that match the different area of cheeses here. So blue's New York, red's Canada, yellow's California, and you can see we have different colors of cheese in our hand. We also have the different animals that represent the different animals over here. So these would be secret in my hand, and on my turn I can do one of 3 things. The first option is to churn cheese, which is essentially asking other people for a specific animal or cheese type. Essentially it's glorified Go Fish. So I could ask anybody, hey, do you have any blues? Or look at do you have any yellows? So let's say I asked, sure, does anybody have any blues? Now every other player would look in their hand, and if they had a blue, they would give me one. In return, I would give them any 1 card back, so that everybody keeps 5 cards. If someone actually does not have any blues, they must show just me their 5 cards. Hey mister, I don't have any blues. I get to pick a card from them. I'll pick orange, and then I basically have to give them a card back. I'll give them yellow. So anytime you do that, you're getting a card and you're giving a card, and let's say that would be my turn. Now, because I asked for a blue, I put this knife here, which means nobody else can ask for blue cards again until it gets back to my turn. When it's my turn again, I'm going to lift this up, which then allows people to do it. Now, of course, instead of asking for a color, you could also ask for an animal. You could say, give me a cow. And the same thing would happen. If they have a cow, they'd have to give you one. If they didn't, they'd have to show you and you pick. All the time giving 1 card back for every card that you take, so everyone continues with 5 cards. Now the second option on my turn, you're only doing 1 action per turn, but let's say it went around and it's my turn again. I can produce cheese. I have 5 cards here. I'm going to produce, you can produce as many. You have to produce all of either the same color or the same animal. So here I could produce, let's say, all 3 blues, or I could also produce maybe all 3 cows, might be a good thing too. But in this case, I'm going to go with all 3 blues. So I'm just going to put them like this and put them kind of in a wheel shape. That's kind of fun. Later on in a subsequent turn, if I put some cows down, maybe I kind of put the cow here so I know it's cow and cow. But now I've thrown down 3 cards. I only have 2 left. I'm going to grab 2 from the draw pile. There's a certain amount of cards in the draw pile depending on how many players there are. And so I put 3 down, so I'm going to grab 3. I'd have this in my hand for next turn. So I've done that. Now let's say it's a subsequent turn. I have this cheese here. Let's say I want to sell the cheese. Let's take a look at the market here. We see the market. I have 1, 2, 3. There's 4 blue tiles, which means each one of these is going to be worth $4. Now you can only sell a maximum of 3 at a time. So on my next turn, I'd say I'm going to sell blue. So I sell these 3. They go face down in a pile in front of me, knowing that I've sold them. And so it'd be 3, because I sold 3 of them, times 1, 2, 3, 4. $12. I would get my 12 curd cash, I would keep this for me. And then I would pick any one of these tiles and I would flip it over, which will change the market. Ooh, green's getting a little stronger, blue just got a little weaker. And so we see this. Now some of these tiles have a +1. If someone sold, let's say instead of selling 3 blue, I had sold 3 orange. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's an extra one there for a ribbon. 5, 6. I would have made $18, and then I would have probably flipped this one because I don't want anybody else to get that blue ribbon. Ooh, look at that, and even green's getting smaller, better. So what's happening is you're trying to time the market with when's the right time to sell certain things. Now, if I had sold just animals, for example, I sell 3 sheep of green, blue, and yellow, I'm essentially gonna make $1 for each of those colors that's out there, green, blue, and yellow. So we have 1, 2, the +1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I would have made $8, and then I can flip any one of those tiles. Maybe I probably would have flipped the one with the thing on it, and now, ooh, look at that, now red's getting stronger. So that's what would have happened there. This continues until the draw pile is empty. Once it's empty, everybody after the start player, essentially, so that it's an even amount of turns, gets to sell any cheese without flipping the market. And then anything that's in front of you that you did not sell gets liquidated for $1 per wedge that's there, but these don't go in your final end game pile because they were just liquidated. At the end of that, we look at your final end game pile and we go off one by one and look at each of the animals. So we say, okay, how many sheep does everybody have? We'll go 3, 4, 6, and whoever does gets that many dollars. So I had the most with 6, I would get $6. Then we go down to yaks and all the rest of them. Whoever has the most of that animal gets that much cash. Then you count up the cash, and that's the end of the game. Now that's the basic game. The built-in sort of advanced rules is called the sharp version. And in this case, depending on the amount of players, you'll actually get some cheese wedges to start the game that you can look at both sides at. Now, when you sell something, let's say I sold blue, first of all, one of these blue I pick and just comes out of the game, and I replace it with any one of the wedges that I have in front of me. Then, in addition to that, I still take one of the blues and flip it over. And what this does is it really changes the market a lot more in one big swoop. And there's some cheese wedges that are going to be in the discard pile that you can look at and take at some point too. Now, in addition to that, there are some cards that have some special icons on them. If they have any of these different icons, when you sell anything, you get to either from the wedges that you have, trade it with the discard pile. There'll be a discard pile with some of these in it, or you can steal a wedge from an opponent. You can be, oh, he's got a yellow one or orange one, I need it. Give him one, steal one back. So that's the advanced rules there. The extra shop expansion adds 3 different types of cards in each color: cheese, smelly cheese, hormones, and organic. And when you sell those, you have to sell them with the same color. So example, if I sold organic with these 3, boom, that would work, or that would work, things like that. Now let's talk about what these different things do, the hormones there. Now with the hormones, you get to sell up to 5 instead of 3. Usually you can only sell 3, but with the hormones, you can sell up to 5 at a time, and you can sell 1 type and 1 color. So it really allows you to sell everything really fast there. But the bad news is at the end of the game, each hormone is gonna cancel out any organic that you have at the end of the game, because the organics actually will give you $5 bonus at the end of the game, but for each of these hormones, it cancels these things out. And the smelly cheeses, after you sell them, you keep them on your, basically you'd have the things you've sold in the past, you'd put it like this for 1 turn. When people sell blue, they cannot alter the blue market at all. And then when it becomes my turn again, it comes down here. It stops people from altering that. So it just adds a little bit more to the game. All right, well, I typically like light family games, and I do like economic games, and I liked the theme of this. So it all synergistically made me interested in this game. And when I played with it, it didn't disappoint me. I think the packaging, first of all, some people will hate the way that it doesn't fit on the shelf, but because of the thematics of it, because of the way it fits together and all that stuff, same for the odd shaped cards that are really hard to shuffle. Some people are gonna hate that. I think it's awesome. It adds to the theme, the cute artwork, the colors, everything about the actual physical product of this game is really fun and unique, and it makes the game a lot more enjoyable because of all that's there. Even the curd cash. I typically hate paper money, but you know what? I let this one slide because darn it, they were cute, right? Now the game itself, so you've got 3 different ways to play this, right? You've got the basic game, you've got the sharp version, then you've got the expansion, the extra sharp version. After playing all of them, oddly enough, usually in these games, especially if they're light, I almost always like the advanced rules. In this game, we actually all liked, it was unanimous, we all liked just the basic version the best. We felt it was the most streamlined, we felt that it didn't add any bloat, we just felt like the pacing kept better, you didn't have to remind yourself about a few different things. So it's a good, solid little economic light card game. Again, this is one of those games that you can play it with gamers and they'll have fun with it, but you can play it with family members that don't necessarily play a lot of games, and it will do that too. So it has like a dual purpose here, and I like games that fit into that sweet spot. And this one's no different. It's fun trying to figure out what you got. You're looking at what other people have. You're trying to time the market. Oh, this guy's got green. Nobody else is doing orange. Let me do orange, even though there's 2 there, because they're probably going to be selling soon. And hopefully some more orange will come up, and boom, now you're ready to sell. And it's got that interesting aspect of try to do what other people aren't doing, and then trying to time things. You might lay things down early in the game, but not sell them till much later until the market timing is right. So it's that interesting thing of trying to time the market right, which I really like. So overall, the game's really good. It's solid. I can recommend it. Again, the advanced rules, I felt like they just kind of bogged things down. Sure, they added more strategic depth, and some people would like them. Even in the sharp rules, for example, when you get to draft you get those extra cheese tiles. So when you sell something, you get to boot one out and put one of yours in there, and then flip another one. I actually liked that. It was just when you added that extra element of if you sold something with a special icon on it, and then in addition to that, you can discard one and take one from the discard pile or steal somebody else's, and it was just like one more thing to think about. It felt like it just, I don't know, for us it just bogged it down. Same with the expansion, actually, even worse, bogging it down. But some people might like it. They might say, you know what, I like really heavy games and the lighter game just doesn't do it for me. So I can see why it's there. For our group, we all felt like the basic streamlined version was the best, but overall it's a good, solid, little unique card game that comes in a unique package. It's nothing like anything I have. So that's Cheesonomics.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.